The Tigers have fired Avila after 7 seasons as our GM. We are finally free and we can hopefully build behind a real baseball mind. This has got to be one of the best days for us Tigers fans in the last 7 years. It's great to see Al finally get held accountable for all the thousands of idiotic trades and free agency signings he made. Let's go over a few of Al's masterclass trades. First up here, we got JD Martinez for Dowell Lugo, Sergio Alcantara, and Jose King. Just an awful trade. We don't even have any one of those guys on our roster anymore. And JD had some of his best seasons not in a Tiger uniform. Another trade we're going to talk about here. This one, we're all sick of hearing it, but Justin Verlander for Jake Rogers, Daz Cameron, and Franklin Perez. That will go down as the worst trade of the 2010s. Verlander has been lights out for the Astros, and we've gotten almost nothing from Rogers, Cameron, and Perez. Hopefully Jake can become something because, like I said, that trade is aging terribly for us. Al should have been fired for those 2 trades alone back a couple years ago. But let's also not forget these terrible free agent signings like Jordan Zimmerman, Mike Pelfrey, Julio Teheran, Josh Harrison, Nomar Mazara, just a million guys that Al went after that were just not going to produce winning baseball for the Tigers, and just overall stupid free agent signings. Al also never knew when to trade young players or hold on to them. Al kept Matt Boyd and Daniel Norris and Michael Fulmer for just way too long. The return we have for those 3 players right now on the team are Reese Olson and Sawyer Long-Gipson. That's pretty much no return at all for those 3 players. I like Reese Olson. Hopefully he can become something. But back in the mid-2010s, we gave up David Price and Cespedes for Fulmer, Boyd, and Norris, and Al turned them into 2 Double-A pitchers. Again, just another common theme in all of his trades. He just loses every single one, it seems. Al also couldn't draft if his life depended on it. If I was the GM the last 7 years and made every decision with my eyes closed, I genuinely think I would have set us up better than Al currently has. We have the 7th worst farm system in all of baseball. Al was gifted the top picks of every round for every draft when we were the worst team in the league and produced almost zero MLB-ready talent. Before this season started, not one position player that was drafted by Al in the last 6 years made the MLB. After the 2022 season started, there were 3: Spencer Torkelson, Cody Clemens, and Riley Green. So basically, after 7 years of a rebuild, the only MLB-ready hitters were a number 1 pick, a number 5 pick, and a Hall of Famer's son. Al found no gems in the later rounds and just basically wasted 6 years of drafting position players. Al Avila will always be known for being one of the worst baseball GMs of all time. In his 7 years here, he made the playoffs 0 times and only had 1 winning season in 2016 with a record of 86-75. Al inherited a team full of Hall of Famers and traded almost every one of them, getting some of the worst returns ever. Al may be a good guy, but he is the worst thing to happen to Detroit sports, and he made the Tigers almost unwatchable over the last couple of years. Hopefully we will hire somebody not in the organization to be our next GM. I feel like we need a complete refresh and restart. Comment your opinions on Al getting fired. Appreciate you boys watching. I'll be back for the highlights later today.